all due respect, dude. Yeah, it's just too. Yeah, you know, like those weird Christian, like wannabe Christian people. That, they're just kind of weird, not like real. That's why I don't like going to churches and stuff, or going to that kind of stuff. You just find those hypocrites, bro. You're better off just trying to be people that are kind of like just in the world that kind of understand and value these things, rather than like try to like put on a persona. Because you're only gonna like, that's what it is, bro. What's that?
I'm just saying, like, it's not the issue with organized religion. I mean, everyone's on their own level, everyone's at their own pace and whatnot. It's the person that knows better, and then in turn is turning that into like a control thing for people. So I actually know the way, but I'm purposely technically not leading you towards the way, because then there's actually no need for me. That's the trick of the Catholic Church, for example. It's if everyone can go to God, then what use am I for being we live in such a world with so much sin that you're lucky that I'm here to be the conduit between you and God. So every time you have to go to God, you have to come through me first. It's just the middleman trying to get paid. And that's the whole point of Jesus. It's, stop worrying about the middleman. And that's God in a nutshell. There are you shall have no other gods before me. It just means that, again, stop cutting out the middleman. Just go to me. Just have a conversation with me. You can talk to that guy, you can talk to that guy, but he's eventually still going to refer you to the manager, and the manager is going to refer you to this person, and this person. So just go to me. Just call me. Just have a conversation with me. That's very interesting. But they really do want to tell you that the fruit of knowledge was sex. But here's my favorite chapter of the entire Bible. Because of that reason right there. Just go to me. Just call me. Just have a conversation with me. That's very interesting. Romans chapter 14, the entire chapter. Verses 1 through favorite 23. Chapter of the entire Bible. Receive one who is weak in the faith, but not to dispute over doubtful things. I hate to tell you, humans have always been humans. It wouldn't be in these books if there wasn't technically Romans chapter 14. Because otherwise he would tell you also to make sure that you breathe air. I already know how to do that. Right, so you don't need guidance and counseling on breathing, but evidently it turns out that we still need guidance and counseling over, hey, you've got an opinion? That guy has an opinion. You can talk about it. You might be wrong. This guy might be wrong. But if you start focusing on who's right and who's wrong, you're going to lose the sense of the point of the entire conversation. Because otherwise he would tell you also, your faith is your journey with God, and your faith is your journey with God. You need guidance. You're not responsible for that person. He's not responsible for you. But evidently, it turns out that we still need guidance and counsel. So the entire chapter is, you've got an opinion? You come into the church from the outside world. But if you start focusing, you come in with this idea that you want to better your life by not drinking. Your faith is your journey, not going out and gambling. And then there's someone that's born in the church. Through their meditation and discipline, they don't actually feel bad about. So the entire chapter is, they can maintain themselves doing drugs, they can go gamble, they can do whatever. So who's right and who's wrong? But if you start focusing on everyone is right and everyone's wrong. That guy who doesn't want to gamble is just as correct as that person who does want to gamble. Stop telling each other what's right and what's wrong, because then technically you are going to stumble your brother. That's the more important sin. because you're wrong. You thought this entire time that you were right, but it turns out you were wrong. In the meantime, you caused an entire congregation to fuck up. Everyone is right and everyone's wrong. That guy who doesn't want weed, THC, comes from the ground. That person who does want cannabis. Stop telling each other what's right and what's wrong, because then technically you are going to stumble your brother. That's the more important sin. Because you cheated on your taxes, you cheated on your wife, you thought this entire time you found your woman, but it turns out you cheated. You're not really good to your people. Then you spit on the floor, you take advantage of people, you exploit people, you do all sorts of crazy shit. But you totally were a warrior for the fact that the earth was 6,000 years. Okay? So you should be able to go to heaven, right? Because as long as you just believe that one thing, you're all good, right? Then watch. You go up to the gates of heaven, God explains to you. Actually, so you were wrong right there. So you were doing all this wrong stuff, but you really thought that because you believed this one thing, which by the way is wrong, and that would exclude all the other things that you were negligibly and knowingly doing wrong right in heaven, right? Why should I let you in? That one thing. See, that's fucked up. Because you go up to the gate. Exactly. It's like you did all these things, but you never, were gay or wrong, whatever, and so you died on that hill. It turns out you were wrong anyway. But you really thought that because you stumbled and believed this one thing, hundreds, thousands of, potential followers of God. The other things that you so get mad at the Catholic Church in the sense of the Vatican, not the practicing Catholics, not your neighborhood Catholic person that happens to be your neighbor. Exactly. Get mad at the Vatican and the institution of power that it is. You never, gay or wrong, whatever. Acknowledge you died on that hill doing sex. Turns out you were wrong. Psychedelic. I don't have to tell you, bro. Stumbled.
Something sure.
Get mad at the Catholic Church. By the way, welcome to the bigger picture. It's D9X. That happens to be your neighbor. Exactly. Get mad at the Vatican. I want to welcome you all to the conversation of the universe. Whatever knowledge died on that hill doing sex. Psychedelic. What a
let's see. There's a bugger. I got in the hospital. Family got me this. It has scriptures for each day here. So today is September 2nd. It's the month of God's loving protection. God's always doing that, but they're just trying to make this thing interesting so you can read it. You read at least the scripture. So let's see. God remains in control. This is for September 3rd. It's a bugger. Got in the hospital. Family got me this. What is this? Coalitions. Today is September 2nd. 1:17. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. God's always doing that. So as Jason before, trying to make this thing so you can read it. Yeah, because we're basically in this space, there's balance here. God remains in control. No one's maintaining this peace and order without them. It'll be hell. Sometimes it'll seem as if everything is going well before giving into despondency. However, acknowledge the greatness, glory, and consistency of God. He called the world into existence. He created humankind. He has kept vigil over his creation, cared for us through the ages, and sheltered us in every disaster. He is the Creator God who will never abandon his workmanship. And his vast love, he gave his Son to this world, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Therefore, hold on to his promises. Place your trust and faith in the living Christ. And through him, you will survive all danger and adversity. You are eternal, Lord. The workmanship of your creation bears testimony to your great works. The universe celebrates your great name. Amen. He is the Creator God who will never abandon his work.
Second
his
Colossians,
last blood
that's
he
first
gave his son
Colossians.
to this world, so that whoever believes
Colossians
in him
1
shall not
17.
perish, but
I'm
receive
sure I've got a
everlasting
different
life.
reading.
Therefore,
It's just like a book that
to
has
his promises, place your trust and faith in Jesus Christ. Through him,
What's interesting is
you are eternal. Workmanship of your creation.
Paul at this time is already starting his missionary and he's going
Celebrate
on
your great names.
and travel to the other churches. Finding, like, there's an island of Colossus or Colossia. So those are the Colossians. But anyway, it's like the different churches that are put out. So he's just writing letters to them. So things are happening as as humanity does. Like, things just happen within humanity. So then the Holy Spirit inspires him to then write how he writes, what he writes, when he writes it. So there's all these like chapters in all the Bible that are about like, husbands, take care of your wives, wives respect your husbands, and be good to or respect the authority. Like obviously there must have been enough of a need for that for the Holy Spirit to then say, all right, let's write this, let's write that. And if you don't actually know what you're writing, so then
Bro, kind of
there's all these like chapters and all the Bible. You just have a function. You're still the exact same person that is living 400,000 years.
Yeah, so the fault's the same. Like, he's not, we know we have to study to learn. You can't
Obviously,
just have all the answers and shit.
the need for that Holy Spirit to that. You build a pyramid. You don't actually know. They're much smarter than you.
Can't even build a fucking sculpture.
There's a famous, or I think it was Michelangelo. I saw this randomly YouTube video. There was I think Michelangelo is Moses. He's got like the scroll, or he's got like the 10 Commandments or something. You can look it up.
You can usually got one right.
You build a pyramid. What's it called? He's got this like dope pose on him that apparently someone was able to like. Yeah, you seen that where like it's like a weird like muscle that only extends when your pinky. Moses. He's got like the scroll, or he's got like the 10 Commandments. Yeah. That's too cool.
Yeah, bro, it's got nothing else going on.
Would you screen share this? He's got this pose on
let's see here.
that apparently someone was able to. Yeah, you seen that where like it's like a weird like muscle that only extends when your pinky. He's got like the scroll, or he's got like the 10 Commandments. Yeah. That's too cool.
Yeah, bro, it's got nothing else going on.
Would you screen share this?
Oh, okay.
He's got this pose on
let's see here.
that apparently someone was able to. Yeah, you seen that where like it's like a weird like muscle that only extends when your pinky.
Swap it over and I'll just turn it on and then turn it off. Yeah, as you can see here, we got Michelangelo in the depths of his creation. Yeah, look at this. So to be able to have the ability to just study the human so much, I mean, I can see. I mean, you probably had other men like kind of pose at him like something that kind of because obviously when you have the
You didn't see him do it. Maybe you saw it like within like his
His
mind. He
eyes.
was just like on some crazy art shit.
yeah, because who knows all them too? Because there's no distractions back then, bro. You're just raw human picking up everything, all this bullshit around us. So, yeah, so I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's how you look at things throughout the ages. Like everything was like original until more things were created and things became more like bland. You know, what is that shit? You probably had other men like saturation. I don't like earlier in the cast. Cause obviously when you have that,
Because you just have all you gotta do is just Google like that's it.
Right.
Google the human anatomy. Someone actually had to figure out the human.
Yeah, because who knows on it too? Because there's no distractions back then.
Look at that guy. That guy's chilling. He's got stone tablets. His robe is chilling, and he's
Yeah,
like
so I mean, that's how you look at things throughout the ages. Like,
as a human would.
Until everything
sure.
great and things became bland. You know, what is that shit? You probably had other saturation. You choose me.
It's interesting how Moses goes up to the mountain, assuming this is all true, right?
Yeah, because who knows?
God's probably not real, and these are all stories. You know, that guy's chilling. This is all waste of time. But anyway, he goes up to the mountain, they're having a conversation, writing down, the 10 Commandments, putting together all the 5 books of the law that are about to happen, telling them the story of how we got here and all that. So you're tripping, like you're having like this crazy vision of heavenly. No, I'm talking about Moses. When he goes up to the mountain of Sinai, and then when he comes down, by the time you don't even know how long he was gone. And that's the whole thing. It's like a DMT. You're gone for 3 hours up to the mountain, real time. Everyone's like, hey, bro, like, you were just tripping out for like 5 minutes and then you're back. Putting together which one is real, right? Because he comes back after having the story of how 5 books laid out. So you're tripping. He explains to him Genesis. He explains to him pretty much like Exodus, all the way, you know, to wherever else. Then he lays out 3 different books of law: Numbers, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy. As far as that whole thing is, what you guys are supposed to do all the time. Keeping like a census, like where you got, like how you guys should do these things, and then Deuteronomy is pretty much the book of like explains not loopholes, but like, oh well, okay, fine. Well, if your foot was here on this line and it was at this time, like it's like the rules within rules kind of book, you know, like rules on the fly, you know, whatever kind of book, however you want to describe it. So he lays out 5 books for him. Then he walks down the mountain. I don't know how long that conversation was. You're just left to assume that within that time, the people got bored or something. And then they melted down all of their gold and all their jewelry and made an entire statue full of, or, you know, made into a bowl. Rules within rules to can you do that? Can you melt gold and like turn it into a like how do you want to describe it? He lays out 5 books. Then he walks down. But these people are primitive, you know. Oh my God, I feel so bad for them, right? You're just left to assume that within that time, people got bored or something.
Because once they're ignorant of something, the brain adapts to it. Because we have like insulation now, you don't have it in the first. Or this is that comfort. You guys kind of just like, it was like a fucking progress, a sequence.
You do that, you melt gold.
It's just like second nature. And over time, learn harsh environment, push them to get to where let them more down.
You can technically do that right now. It's just,
because once they're ignorant of something,
you can do it because you're the same person. Humans have always been humans. I don't like this person. Why? Because they looked at me funny. You think you just came up with that today? That's been a thing since humanity started. Why do you think that there's these laws? I shouldn't have to tell you to honor your father, but you know, we're here. You know, it's not eventually. It's like evidently that needed to be said.
Yeah.
Because kids are always going to be little shitheads. That's the point. Humans have always been humans and will always be humans.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Like people think like, oh, like I was the first on Instagram. Oh, I don't like people blind following blind. But it's like evidence right in front of you. Like you see how like what breeds growth and prosperity, what qualities and principles, and then it's not a coincidence that people that know how to be righteous, they know how to have these tight bonds and trust, and they actually prosper. And that's that's basically what God's telling you to do. Or do you want to do like it's like a made up thing and like it just it's not true. It's like obviously
evidently, right? Like we have to There's evidence in front of you, and yet for some reason,
But it's like evidence right
yeah, but maybe 1 + 1 could equal fish. If we draw this out for 7, whiteboards, yes, we can actually make it where 1 + 1 is fish. Using imaginary numbers, calculus within fine. Or it's almost like that's why the hypotenuse is actually the most genius thing that they came up with. It's like I'm trying to live this way. So I could walk outside the door, walk all the way around this block, and then drill a hole through the back just so I can pick it up. Or whiteboards. Yes, we can actually. It just saves you time and money and resources and whatnot. 1 + 1 is 2. It could be fish. I'm not judging you for making it fish. It's almost like way the fuck out of your way just to make it fish. Thing that they came up with. It could just be 2. It's okay. Reach behind you, fucking it's cool.
Yeah, that's how fucking the brain is. Walk outside the brain doesn't know. So that's why good things, pushing through things that we didn't even know what the fuck they were.
That's what the whole Baal thing is. It's like, you could talk to Moloch, and Moloch talks to Baal, and Baal talks to Saturn. Saturn talks to this guy, and this guy talks to that guy. And then after they've all had this conversation, and then they tell you, it's cool.
Yeah, that's how fucking the brain is.
I have to talk to fucking 20 people just to be told, you guys are good to go. Or you can just talk to me, have a conversation with me, meditate, pray, get within your zone, and you could talk to Moloch, and Moloch can work from there. That's really what it can do. After they've all had this conversation, and that's so for everyone watching watch later. This is almost like a part 2 of what happened to be told of our Book of Enoch episode. This is what he was told, or you can pull it up. But this is what Enoch was basically told.
Yeah, just you see that little eye right there? You just click that eye, and that's how you make it. Go on the right. You have to go right. Yeah, fucking scorpions and fucking. That's really what this is. Go. You see the top eye, the window capture. Watch. The top one, the first one. See, this is what is being displayed on the stream. Yeah, so if you want to just do that and then show it, if you want to go back to the video, just check it out.
Pull it up. This is so retarded, but that was the dopest analogy.
So you see that little eye right there?
Use it as a scorpion's power. Oh, well, then that makes sense. Right is left and left is right. That totally makes sense. God damn, bro. But this is what he was told by these angels. It's not just to know that this is what this demon's name is. This is what this demon's name is. Who cares, bro? Who actually cares what the guy's name is? They're setting up a pyramid scheme that will. It's gonna carry out for them. Use it as a scorpion's power. Oh, well, then that makes sense. Right is left and left is right. That totally makes sense. However long we've been here, the numbers. It's the fact that this is what he was told. However long humanity is going to be here, it's not these people because they've already decided to leave heaven with this demon. And now that we're stuck with the consequences of what they did, let me just at least warn you about what's about to happen. Because these people are going to be doing, these energies are going to be, doing this to people throughout civilization, where we're going to have to step back in and explain to you however long we've been God, the love of God. That's going to sound like it was like revolutionary. This is because you guys are going to be so used to the pyramid scheme. It's not easy. You know that what we're saying is the truth as far as, love people, take care of each other, honor yourself, your body, your spirit, about spread positivity. People are going to be doing that's true because you're so used to the pyramid scheme of deceit, stepping on people's neck for $1, that it's going to sound like it's revolutionary. But deep inside you is actually going to, you're going to know, that is true. Yeah, because you guys are going to be so. Unfortunately, what's going to happen with that is, know that what we're saying, you're going to be the outcast. You're going to have to, be the odd man out yourself. You don't have to be that way, but hey, what are you going to do? These people are stuck. You know that's true because you're so. Because again, Jesus he raises someone from the dead, sound like it, then all of a sudden that deep inside you is actually going to change my life for you. You're going to know what I'm talking about. It is true. You know you can do that too, right? Unfortunately, you never happen that you can do kung fu just when you're going to be. Like you just got kung fu put in your head, and you're still questioning Morpheus. Do kung fu? Yeah, bro. I just that's what I just what? Because again, this is going to be difficult. You know, you just saw me raise someone from people with fish and bread. All of a sudden, just yes, with the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Do that too, right? Y'all don't even want to tap into the mustard seed. That you can do kung fu just when you're gonna be. Why when Coyote starts falling after like 3 seconds of running, and then he looks down and oh shit, it's gravity. Yeah, bro, he's still running, bro. What? Technically, as soon as he starts running, he really should be falling immediately, but he's going for a cool minute, and then he, oh shit, and then falls. With the faith of a mustard, hey Jesus, can move mountains. Is it safe to walk out to you? Yeah. I'm through. Huh, whatever.
Yeah, you gotta do a lot of sign or mind fucking going after.
Am I saying it's easy? It's not. Yeah. But yeah, dude, that's exactly what you gotta do. You just gotta manifest shit. Technically, as soon as he starts running, he really should be falling.
You gotta let your mind get out of the way.
Then he, oh shit, and falls.
Even if it's something that, yeah, it's just.
Safe to walk out to you? Yeah. I'm through. What are your thoughts on it, bro?
My thoughts is just like that.
Am I saying it's easy? It's not. But yeah, dude, that's exactly what you gotta do. You just gotta manifest
That's
shit.
the thing. I think we're just too ignorant. More validity, more shit.
Running,
Things that happen.
You just saw the man, like, you were right there. You saw him raise a man from the dead. You still want to act like he's not the savior. You still want to act like he's not the Messiah. You know? And, you know, this is where I make peace on the road. Because for everyone that really needs to hear this, we're going to all believe that your book is the Word of God, then the Torah, the Talmud. But the Torah, the New Testament, the Gospel of Jesus, and the Quran, man, you were right there, are a trilogy of God's Word. Because in the beginning was the Word, the Word was God, and the Word was God. That Spirit that created the universe, manifested Himself as His own Son to then die for your sins and whatnot. He then spoke 400 years later to an illiterate man who only could sing the book or sing what he heard and what he saw. That's it. That's all that happened.
Yeah, it's like basically God is making it. He's being accountable for it. Like not fully understanding what he's doing. So he's trying to make like basically get those that are really trying to appreciate what he's doing. Sorry.
His own Son. Yeah. To then die for your sins.
That's why we don't know, because he's basically. If it was Christ and choose, because he was so human, he was basically making a gamble of this. Christ knew that. So you gotta respect Christ. It's like basically God is being accountable for it. I don't think it's God.
But yes and no. The person, the physical person that is Yeshua.
Like basically get those that are. It's a strong bond. It's like no question that there is. Many, but I still feel like it's not done that way for that reason. So everyone else can. That's why we don't know, because he's basically living out with Christ and choose for his creation. He's basically making a gamble. Christ knew that. So you gotta
supposed to be. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to almost not make sense in your head, but it does make sense. The person is relatable to you, which means you can.
It's a strong bond.
Aspire to do things like him. Because then you're not thinking like,
it's
I can't do that shit. No, he became a person so that you could feel this this empowerment to keep on going. Like, all right, for sure, if he can do it, I can do it. but he's also God in the sense that it's supposed to almost not make sense. I would have the part of the humility is that in the name of Jesus, you're still giving power to him, but you actually do know that like this can actually happen through, because then you're not thinking like you're made in the image of God, but always there's a number of humility is where you could feel this like. And I probably said this like over and over. It's like that's really how that shit works. Because otherwise, if Jesus was constantly walking around saying, "I am God, listen to me," it wouldn't work. That's why he's always like kind of playing it off. Like you think he's playing it off, but that's how the math is still giving power to him. But you actually do know like how is God? And it's like yes, and it comes from my Father. The way that he would always like kind of give like a rise to his power to someone else. That's how it works. Is if you start saying, "I am God," it's like now you're the pinnacle of power. Otherwise, now you have to have all that power, and if you don't, you're a liar. And then that fucks up the whole equation. If you keep on throwing it up to somebody else in humility, then if you keep on going, was the Word was with God, yes, he was God. All of the and is including all of those things. It's not one or the other. In the beginning was the Word, or the Word was with God, plus the Word. No. It's and. It's all the same thing. God, Jesus is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The one who created the universe was going to die for the else in humility. Otherwise, why would you even be following that? Was the Word? The Word was with God. Yes, it was God. You gotta be on some crazy shit, to make me want to not want to just put my whole body in a pool of water. That's weird. No. The fuck? He's getting wet, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. No, you don't understand. Oh, this guy. Jesus is the creator of the universe, and he died for my. That's where it makes it. Because otherwise, you just got wet. There's no point to die. Yeah. Because the devil knows the Bible better than you. So you can't like study the Bible and think that you can't study any of these holy books and think that like you're gonna beat the devil just through remembering scripture. Because he's gonna fuck around with it. He's gonna flip everything always because he knows it. You don't understand. It's that you have to walk in a certain spirit of you can turn those stones into food, right? Yeah. But not every but man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that you can't study the Bible. You're not flipping scripture on the flipped scripture. It's that the devil just through you know that you could believe another meal. Yeah, I also could do another push. Flip everything always because he knows it. Like everything's gonna be a whole lot of work. Or everything is as bad as it could be right now. Actually, it could actually be worse. So I'm in a positive. But not every. Because -3 is a more positive number than -15. It's still negative, but -3 is a I don't know. It's a better number on the timeline or on the number line. On the flipped scripture, I'm rambling off of bullshit. But it's like you know that you could believe another. You shouldn't be wanting to kill yourself in a war because that guy believes you have God. That's where it gets all fucked up. It could be right now. That's where the devil wins. It could actually be so I'm in a positive. But not because -3 is a more positive number translation. 15 done. Still negative. But they're actually not fighting each other. That's just people being people. Oh, I don't like your beard. It's like that. That's why people have these wars.
Yeah, well, they wanna build up the.
Kill yourself in a war because that guy believes you have God. That's where it's all fucked up.
I was looking at this shit right here. I was thinking about getting one of these.
So I'm in a positive, but not -3 is a number translation. 15 done. Still negative. But they're actually not fighting each other. That's just people being people. Oh, I don't like your beard. Is the earth? It's like that. That's why people have these wars.
Yeah, they wanna build up the flats. Flat. Okay, when you say flat, how far are we talking about? The whole planet flat? I mean, it's flat to us. Not even flat to us because it goes down into there's hills and shit. There's fucking underground water trenches and fucking caves, like holes that goes down the like it's not flat, bro.
Like if anything, it's almost like an indoor pool. That's really how they want to explain it, because flat is kind of like
when
a
you say
whole
flat,
term at this
how
point.
far?
They're
We're
talking about
the
it's like
whole
a dome
planet?
Earth.
Flat?
So you're inside an
I mean,
indoor
it's flat.
pool.
Yeah, like I don't. They're not trying. It ends somewhere where it's not going back. It's not. You're not in revolution. What's it called? Revolution. What's the word?
Yeah, revolution.
Yeah, like
revolving.
Yeah, revolving. It's not a revolving
Like if anything,
planet or whatever. But I think it definitely revolves because we're constantly going around the sun. Everything is like it's time. It repeats, but it's different amongst it's going somewhere. It has a plan. Yeah, like I don't. They're not trying. It ends somewhere where it's not going. Different trees, they're all giving glory to God and how they're growing up at certain times of their life. So it's just like it has something. It's not a revolving. Bigger picture.
you know how fast 1,000 miles an hour.
But I think it definitely revolves because we're constantly going.
Slow as fuck.
Actually,
It's slow as fuck.
It's different
That's
amongst,
how we're only
it's
doing
going
like 24 hours in a day.
Yeah,
You know how many seconds that is? You know what I mean? Like 1,000 miles an hour. 1,000 miles an hour.
Different trees and
Nothing
they're
is
all
slow.
getting glory to God and how they're growing up at certain times. But who knows what that that's something. It could be like basically like nothing. The space is like it could be like but I think it's definitely it's just like what standard are you looking at our reality? It's different
I'm talking about 1,000 miles an hour on Earth. Sure, I guess that would be fast. You know how many seconds that is? You know what I mean? Like
big ass planets do that for us, and so different trees and but who knows? But yeah, I was looking at this shit. See, that's something. It could be like basically like nothing. The space is like it's a cheap one, but it's just like what's down. I was just thinking about getting one because of this to happen.
1,000 miles an hour. Sure, I guess that would be fast. You know how many seconds that is? You know what I mean?
But it's like a modern. It's supposed to be like just like a modern thing. Giant knife.
Sure.
Yeah, it's because I noticed like the more traditional ones are more like the space is like it's a cheap one.
Here's a question. What's your take on someone
I was just thinking about
breaking
getting
into your
one
house
because of this to happen.
Self-defense. Swords. You actually heard them, right?
But it's like a modern. It's supposed to be like just like a modern thing, probably.
Should they be able to?
No, but but I have a good excuse for it in my hands anyways. I was like, I had a tragedy that happened to me not too long ago, and this is my only defense mechanism.
What's your take on
space? I was just thinking about breaking into your house.
No, but someone chose to break into your house.
Yeah, exactly. So
how come they can sue you though?
Yeah, they're stepping in my domain, and then what happens to the domain? I don't care what this law of the land is. It's my domain. I worked hard. No, but I have a good excuse for it in my hands anyways. Like, the other person tragedy that happened to me not so long ago. This is really something that's needed to have the basics.
Well, before you sue me, let me just break into your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Since we're just cool with that principle.
Yeah, they're stepping in my domain. What happens to the domain? I don't care what this law is.
Right, bro. Why are you suing me? You broke into my house. I shoot you. You're lucky you're not dead. Thank you, come again. Like it's not that hard. No, but if you have to legally, tell them that you're about to shoot some warning shots. You're going to shoot the warning shot, and then you get to only be able to shoot them in non-lethal areas because you get to tell the person to
I was about to play like this.
Right, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna slice it in half. You come in here. Alright. And just be hella quiet for the next 30 minutes so they can
come again.
fucking not know where I am.
It's not that hard.
Just fucking distract them, throw something.
No, but if you have to legally, tell them about to shoot some warning. Hey, I gave you the warning shot, right? Like I told you it was gonna happen. You had 30 minutes to get the fuck out, but evidently you wanted to test it. Rank is God forbid that you hurt this motherfucker. Not breaking into your house. Ooh, poor thing.
Coming in here.
Yeah.
Alright. Be hella quiet.
How about we raise the wages and lower the rent if you want to steal from each other? They actually just have enough money to By the way, before we start going after what's I told you to follow the rule. Let's first make sure that Walmart's following it. Okay? Raise the wages, lower the rent. Let's make sure Walmart's God forbid that before we even start going out to these small businesses. You have to raise your wage to 15. Cool. After he does it first. No. This guy needs to do it first. What are you talking about?
I was thinking about just getting the shit, just to have it. I was thinking about getting the double edged one too. And we'll see. I don't know if I can shoot it.
Raise the wages, lower the We'll take the long. Make sure you actually This guy needs to do it first. What are you talking about?
I was thinking about just getting the shit, just to have it. I was thinking about getting the double edged one too. Hell, belly gun swords.
Those shit's gotta be careful too, bro. Shit. They know what they're doing. They're smart. Want a belly dance sword? Yeah, we got you. What's up?
This is battle ready right here.
This guy needs to do all shit. A two-handed sword. Get yours in there.
I was thinking about getting the double edged one too.
Assembly required.
Hell, belly gun swords.
Shit's gotta be careful too, bro.
I know these are probably all cheap. I need to get like an actual one.
They know what they're doing. This is from Bandai.
It's from that.
Got you. Of course, dude. Konami made this. Like the fuck, bro.
Yeah, man. Where do you think is a good place? You have to just craft your own. That's the only way. I was thinking about getting some shuriken.
Assembly required.
Hell, belly gun swords. Let me see. I know these are probably all cheap. I need to get like an actual one.
They know what they're doing. This is from Bandai.
It's from that.
Of course, dude. Konami made this. Like the fuck, bro.
Yeah, man. Where do you think is a good place?
This guy figured out how to do a curve and a curve.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
This guy made an S, dude. That's crazy.
Way too damn fucking. I don't like this style. I don't like this.
I'm stuck on that S, dude. That shit was cool.
Yeah. Sword of Anubis.
I mean, these people were real gods, though. They really did see these people.
What do you think?
This guy figured out how to do that would just be weird. And a curve.
Yeah, they're probably just stuck in the middle, and they stuck it like when they initially. I don't know that film's coming out. Maybe I don't know how it worked, but and then they over time they gradually learn how to just be discreet and shit.
I'm stuck on
Still
that S,
be
dude.
there.
That shit was cool.
Yeah.
The Earth was a lot different back then.
Sword of Anubis.
No pesticides, no bacteria. These people will easily travel into the body. They really did see these people. They were doing these.
Yeah, they're probably just stuck in the middle, and they stuck it like when they initially.
That was the point. That's why God had to flood the earth.
And then they over time they gradually learn how to just be discreet and shit. And it's all good.
American Civil War. Italian. Irish sword. The pirate sword. The Polish sword. Japanese sword. Native American tomahawk. Did see these people. The Scottish World War I. They were doing these on different movies, TV, video games. That's the point. That's why God had to flood the earth.
And then they over time they gradually learn. I like this one, like the modern look. Shit. It's all just like sleep and just one shit. It's only $69.
Pirates, the Polish sword, Japanese sword, it's only 69. Native American tomahawk. Scott Nike, one. They were doing these on Movies, TV, video games.
Let me see. I'm not gonna put reviews on this one. This one fine. I guess I'll show reviews. I like this one, like the modern look. So it's like leaving just modern shit. Isn't the shit?
Movies, TV, video
Maybe they sell this shit on Amazon. I'm not gonna put reviews on this one. This one fine. I know they should be nice.
Hi, my name is Jeff Bezos, and we're going to be selling the
yeah, whatever. The fucking Japanese sword is cool. $69.
Wow, I sell it to you for $22.95.
$22.95 sword? I mean, that sounds good, but I know you're fucking with it.
Okay, for the price, it's okay. I recently bought a katana from Tula, and I have plenty of expected fun and any katana in my phone. I'm not sure on Amazon. I wouldn't even call this a katana because katanas are known. They're the highest of quality blades. I received this katana for my birthday, and the first thing I did was a paper test. The katana felt miserably, so my thought that this sword is 100% factory made. And not sharpened well.
$22.95 sword? And that sounds good, but I know you're fucking
Just
with
I
it.
believe this is okay. It is for the price. The worst type of it is good for looks, but if you're looking for a high quality katana for a low price, look elsewhere. I've been excited to use it on the harder side, but the underbrush I've been using it for calling for and the blade services. But almost no damage to having been done to the 1.5-inch tree. This is not a film. If this round I'm returning this and I'm never asking for anything else from this one.
$22.95 sword? And that sounds good, but that's an honest one.
Yeah.
That's an honest review right there, bro.
It's good for looks. If you're looking for a high quality katana for a low price, look elsewhere. I've been excited to use it on the harder side. But
Sign of the end times, you definitely need to get yourself a katana. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be on this, thinking about it. But, the end times are so near that it's speaking to his soul that he's like, yeah, you know what? I gotta get me a katana right now. Cold Steel Dragonfly, the Sea Wave. Honest with you right there, bro. Dragon King. Cold Steel.
I'm just kind of thinking that practical, like this
Sign of
one
the end
here.
times, you definitely.
There's a double-edged version of it, but
Because otherwise,
would you rather get a double-edged version or just like the one
side.
sided?
Just one edge fully sharpened though. But like that one side is just fully sharpened. Cold Steel Dragon. Yeah, more control, I guess, but that's on you.
No, I'm saying I would rather just get the one. I like the one, just one having one side. The other side is too like practical. Yeah, I like it. There's a double-edged version of it, but
Otherwise,
would you rather get a double-edged version or
we're live when we start.
one edge
Fully sharpened though.
capture?
Like that one side is just fully sharpened.
Oh, I see why.
Cold Steel Dragon. Yeah, more control, I guess, but.
They've been dark for some time. No, I'm saying I would rather just get the one. It's a sign. Just one a sign for us not to broadcast this.
The whole point is that they're only trying to.
There's a double-edged version of
it.
Well, no, it's because I was highlighting this the Google instead of the Windows. So this is here, so now it's gonna show. But yeah, it's all good. We're gonna have to. Let's see.
There we go.
Call here. I would rather the call. Live stream. It's not the broadcast. This. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. Yeah, what do you think of that? Well, no, it's because let me see. I want to try looking up that instead of the Windows. A double edge. The edge is the double edge. It's gonna show. But yeah, it's all good.
Run on topic.
We're gonna have to. Let's see.
There we go.
Call here. Topic idea could be live stream. Yeah, this is the one right here. See how this one's double edged? Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. Yeah, what do you think of that? Same kind of. Let me see. I want to try looking up that instead of the Windows double edge. And this one. Yeah, good.
Run a topic.
Not,
Yeah, this one is just the single
side topic.
It's the same handle. This one just curves slightly, and this has the one side. This one's like double edged. Like it's gonna be big right here. It's gonna be blunt on that side. And this one it has like both sides. It's like a double edged sword. And this one, I just wish the sword was like straight, like without curving, because it's a double edged. I'd rather have it just like use both. Because that indicates that you're just gonna predominantly use this side. But I don't know. I'd rather get this because it's the same handle. This one just curves slightly, and this has the one side. This one's like double edged. Like it's gonna be big right here. It's gonna be blunt on that side. And this one it has like both sides. Like this one, double edged. I just wish the sword was like straight, like without curving, because it's
anyways.
double edged. I'd rather have this, like,
Yeah, the conversation of
that indicates that you're
what's
just
going on, the end
I don't know.
times. We got
I'd rather get this because it's the same.
what mankind's doing.
This one just curves slightly.
Oh well, that's the what research has what's your research brought you to about the end times?
Both sides.
You know, the earthquakes, the floods, the day, like the
I just
Noah
wish
days
the
of
sword
Noah.
was
That's
straight.
like some Noah days of happening indeed.
Yeah, the conversation of
That indicates that you're
What's
still
going on, the end times. And I seen some crazy shit. Like, me and my dad were looking at some the fires, and there was like this place. It was like a fire tent. Teasers all just like. That shit looked like the way in hell and shit. And then like on the thing when I said that, the news put hellish fucking weather. Or something. Yes, the stuff like that. That's like a small manifestation. But imagine that just like worldwide. That's like what we're heading to, unfortunately. But I seen some crazy shit. Me and my dad were
I think it would be worse.
the fires. It was like this
Like
place.
the earthquake
It was like a
would be
fire tent.
worse.
Teasers all just like.
But what if you step back, or like what if you like look outside from the
When I said that,
space?
the news put hellish.
What would an earthquake look like? And just like a fart real quick.
Yes, the stuff like that.
You
That's
just
like a
happen to
small
want to live
manifestation.
right here in
But
this part of the city.
Earthquake.
So it's very. But I think Earth is just what Earth or what the planet does. Terraforming, hurricanes. It's like the Earth is just regulating itself on different levels. And we've caused a lot of stuff. What I'm saying, like, I think it's actually going to be deeper than just earthquakes and tidal waves. This is kind of like like you said, preliminary. This is like the beginning stages of the gnashing of teeth. It's very stage that they get into.
Yeah, because people are already doing that about the pattern of the fire. So this is going to be a steady time when people are all doing
Earth is just regulating itself.
stuff.
And we've caused a lot of stuff. What I'm saying, like, I think it's actually going to be deeper than just earthquakes and
So everyone,
This is kind of like you guys said.
I think we think these are the signs, indications, or not.
It's very staged.
Not. Yeah, because people are already doing that. Pattern of the fire. Record breaking all-time highs of certain events that have been going on.
That's all by who though? I hope this is not like cynical. It might, I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit more positive, guys. I'm saying like it's coming. I don't think this is end times in the sense that because it's all manipulated. So they're making you believe that you can feel that there's this like energy manipulation versus when it really happens, that thing's going to be genuine. That's a genuine feeling.
Yeah, because you're really gonna feel like, oh,
I hope this is not like simple. Not just like I'm trying to because they fucked you up with all this like trauma on the media. You go into a store, it's like, hey, how you doing today? It's like, could be better. Like, yeah, come on, shut up. Like, don't. But you know what I mean? Like, it's the way that people are speaking on things. Energy manipulation versus when it's the end times, there is not going to be like a, hey, how you doing? Oh, you know, it could be better, you know, with everything going on.
Yeah, you're really gonna feel like, oh,
Because even the people manipulate, not just like, are going to be panicked. That's when it's different. Because they fucked you up with, they're trying to manipulate us to panic so that we kill each other. Hey, how you doing today? So they want to kill us, but they technically don't want to do it themselves. But you know what I mean? Want to convince you that it's your idea to do that against your neighbor. When it's the end times, there is not going to be like a, not to sound fucked up, but it's like you don't even care about your neighbor enough to even want to plot out. Because even if people manipulate, not just like you're just living your life. That's when it's different. I'm not thinking about other people like that. They're trying to manipulate us. These reptilians are doing that to each other. They want you to keep on fighting over it. They technically don't want to do it themselves. But you don't want to keep on fighting because you know that it's our idea to do that against your neighbor. Left versus right. There is not going to be Christian versus Taylor. I want you to kill each other. Because toilet paper. They freaked you out thinking about other people going out toilet paper. These reptilians are doing that to each other. You know, if this was, they want you to keep on fighting, this is where they're sounding kind of fucked up from. So like if they actually cared about, you know, the virus and shit. You remember when all the alcohol companies were forced technically to either like shut down or just like for the next 2 months start making rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer. It takes alcohol to do that. They freaked you out. They did. Going out, yeah, damn toilets. You know, all these companies started making hand sanitizer. You know, if this was so, why wouldn't the federal government then say, hey, we need people to come up with vaccines? How come it's just these alcohol companies were forced technically to shut down last year? Pfizer, or 2 years ago, right? Starting 2019. Hand sanitizer. Johnson & Johnson was in a lawsuit. Pfizer was in a lawsuit. They did. So all these companies. Like, you know what I mean, dude? Like, all of these companies were in a lawsuit. You know, for like one reason or another. People they've been putting chemicals in just food and water and like lawsuits. And so then the virus happens, and then what do you know, dude? Johnson & Johnson is the one that's giving you vaccines. Man, isn't that crazy? I mean, no coincidence here, kid. It just so happens that Johnson & Johnson was able to figure out if all these vaccines. You know what I mean, dude? Like, I'm not supposed to question that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, for like one reason.
yeah, no, I had a disturbing dream last night. Basically, I don't know, I was in this position where, like, I don't know, shots were given around, I don't know if they were tracking it, but they were poking for sure. And then, like, this doctor, this dude, he came up, and I had my hand out like this, and this fucking bastard fucking shot my hand like a bastard. And I felt like that shit shocked to my body, like, I was pissed, bro. I felt like someone that just fucking, you know, like people just do what they want to without any fucking, they don't even, it's just the audacity, the entitlement to fucking be, like, you know, just, yeah, I don't know, just against, you're going against me. I don't know, shots are given around, trying to impose what they want on her, and that's basically the dream I had. I was pissed. That I, you know, if I'm comfortable doing something, I'm fucking do it. Push. I felt like that shit shocked somebody. I was pissed, but I feel like I don't feel it. If I suffer, then I feel good. That's my call. So regardless, I don't know. Yeah, I got used to fucking shit. If I'm comfortable doing something,
Eventually, it's going to turn into you have to be vaccinated to even walk into the building.
I feel good. That's my call. So regardless,
They're all keeping us on these, you know, these experiment beds. They're still trying to fight the spirit. Trying to fight back. They're going to some kind of thing, something like, fuck it. I'm not going to be vaccinated. still going in on it. Because worst case scenario, hopefully that's just a dream and you're crazy. Nothing gonna come.
It's just all
Worst case scenario.
those elements, those feelings are there. Even though I don't really think about it or not. That shit will manifest again.
And so that gets back into like a larger question. Why is it that if it wasn't real, if it wasn't like a real tangible thing you could experience, because worst case scenario, things be what they are and why we're dreams be what they are, like lucid dreams. Worst case scenario, you can't tell me that shit's not some kind of like spiritual magic, whatever you want to call it. That shit is real. What's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're just experiencing it with your senses. Cool. And they're making it real then, back into because otherwise then that's just a waste of time. That's weird shit.
Yeah, another thing that I had a dream, I was in an elevator that like fell, you know, like imagine being on an elevator and the thing snaps and you just go falling down. That's kind of like how I had a dream. I don't know if that was last night or something, but that's that feeling of being in an elevator and then dropping. But nothing, we didn't like crash or crazy. But in those it's weird because I had that dream and then like I seen on like a news report that like I guess it was a school and didn't change it and some students died or something inside that elevator. Saying I don't know how it happened, but it just made me recall that in that dream. The elevator is like crazy. But you know, like imagine being on an elevator and the thing snaps.
For the record, I had no idea.
That's kind of like how I had a dream. I don't know if that was last night or something.
No idea that he's
That feeling of
actually
being in an elevator and dropping. But nothing, we didn't like crash or crazy. But
this guy can manifest.
It was weird because I had that dream and then
Whatever he dreams, it happens somewhere.
that like I guess it was in school. But it's just it was just weird how that I don't know if that happened to the thing. I don't know how it happened. It just made me recall that in that dream. But yeah, man. It's just we're all experiencing.
For the record, I had no idea.
That's kind of like how I had a dream. I don't know if that was last night or something.
No idea that he's actually.
If one person is body feeling it, it might manifest something crazy. But
This guy can
or something.
manifest.
I don't know. It's weird. I had that dream.
Whatever he dreams, it happens somewhere. It has to be real.
Yeah, but it's just it was just weird how that I don't know if that happened to
This
the
person.
how it happened.
Why though? You're sensing an energy. It's you wouldn't just say that. That wouldn't. Like someone walks into the room and you're like, you know what the fuck? Like you feel energy. It's gotta be real, dude. Because then why is everyone saying that? Like you're trying to be cool. Why are you just saying stuff that you think is cool? Because obviously that's why you're saying it. Because it's not real, right? None of that's just real. Energy's not real, dreams aren't real. You know, fucking tapping into other dimensions aren't real. Then why are we saying that shit? It's real. That wouldn't
It's so real. It's surreal. What's the meaning of surreal?
It's gotta be real, dude. Why is everyone saying that? Like you're trying to be cool. Why are you just saying stuff that you think is cool? Because obviously that's why you're saying it. Because it's not real, right? None of that's just real.
Surreal, love related to characteristics of surrealism. An artistic and literary style surrealism. Having the dissonance, evolutionary quality it's so real. It's surreal. It's just something. What's the meaning of surreal? It's happening because it's not like. You don't think your awareness or your consciousness will make these connections and stuff and whatnot. Having the dissonance.
He was tapping into something, right? He manifested this from like.
Fucking stone, right? How do you do this? Yeah.
Yeah. You get like you just get like a block of marble and you start going, right? But this guy obviously envisioned something from like a dream type of situation where
he felt the effects of what's going to do that.
So sure, psychedelics are actually taking you to a place where theoretically, because when you die, you go through a deep state, So, assuming that you've never taken drugs, technically, you could tap into this, like a mushroom body. If you really obviously discipline yourself and like on this, like, according to the Buddhists, you could actually sit there and meditate to the point where you start, you manifest yourself into a DMT trip. So, vines and shit like that. So it can be possible, right? So clearly, how come every time that you're taking drugs, you either feel euphoria to hell? It can't just be you that's doing that. Unless we're all lying to ourselves, trying to fool. You've either experienced heaven or hell through drugs, through life, whatever. So these things are actually real. Someone walks in through a room and you can actually feel their happiness or their anger. That's gotta be real. But how come you gotta pretend like that shit's fake? You're schizophrenic, here's some medication, go back to class and take this alcohol. It can't just be you that go to Harvard and become a little soldier for because you're crazy. No, that shit's real. You're trying to suppress that by, so these things are all medication. Some chemical imbalances are fine, I get that. Have you also tried getting your keto? Well, no, that's a drug. But you trust that? So you're putting that in your body, and you're cool with that because what, a doctor told you to? Give your kid Adderall. Some weed. Give your kid not your kids, but you know what I mean. Like, introduce the earth also as a healing process for your children. I mean, if you really do have a nut allergy or something, try go to like a Chinese herb medicine specialist, like an acupuncturist or something. Someone who does like quote unquote alternative medicine. Because this is what you're missing out on. People used to do this. This muscle right here is what happens when the pinky is lifted up. Some guy was able to just make this happen in his mind as he's,
Malachite. It's a type of mineral. Copper, hydroxide.
This is what you're missing out on. People used to do this muscle right here, these things are real. Gold actually does have psychic. Magic is actually real. It's just chemistry. Because you need to add something to this side of the equation.
It's a type of copper.
That's all chemistry is. You're adding one electron, you gotta take an electron. That's all you're doing when it comes to all this stuff. Alchemy is when you're doing magic out of math. Because you're superseding that law. That's all you're doing. That's the whole point of why everyone's obsessed with going after what philosophy does and touching the Holy Grail. Because fine, so it's not real. None of that shit's real. So fine, you just wasted your time. Congratulations. But otherwise, people knew that if they took just a sip, the woman that touches Jesus' cloak, right? She's sick and she doesn't know it's gonna work, but she knows it's gonna work, right? She reaches out in the crowd, touches his cloak, and then he's like, "Hey, who touched me?" That's the whole point of why everyone's obsessed with going after what philosophy does and touching
Very well.
Because so it's not real. None of that shit's real. So congratulations. But otherwise, people knew that if they took just the woman that touches Jesus. Luke 8:45. She's sick and she doesn't know it's gonna work, but she knows. Who touched me? Jesus reaches out and Rael denied touches his master. The people are crowding and pressing against you. He actually felt a little part of his spirit or of his power leave his cloak. And he wasn't asking in an angry way. He was actually impressed that someone was able to manifest that energy by not having to do rituals, by not having to pray. They actually truly walked off the edge of the cliff and didn't fall off because of gravity. Who touched me? That's what he. Cool, someone actually tapped into that. Hey, who touched me? But of course, they're not getting it. No, no shame in that. But like they didn't get what he was talking about. Like, oh shit, like everyone, because they think he's pissed off that like how he left us, that someone was able to manifest that. But not having to. They're saying like, oh, my bad. You like, I believe that stuff on me. I'm sure it's anyone and everyone. Like, no. Like, I really felt like a part of my power leave to that. I was just wondering, of course, they're not touching it. No shame. She comes forward. Didn't get what he was talking about. She's like, oh, my bad. Like you had no idea that was actually going to work, but it worked. Like, because you knew, you believed, like, you manifested that truth right there. Like, that shit works. I'm sure it's anyone and everyone can actually tap into that power, but no. Like, I actually believe the only way to do that is with magic. What Jesus is doing is the science of magic. M-A-G. That's the theme song for the bigger picture. You had no idea that was actually going to work with it. Fucking, M-A-G-I-C-K, or sometimes it's just with the, G-I-K. The actual, like, energy manipulation that is magic. That's what Jesus is doing. He's doing it through calculated which is possible because he was man. That's what I'm saying. The man who was Jesus, Yeshua, because you actually believe that he is the spirit living embodiment of the most M-A-G-I. That's why you're following him. Otherwise, he is actually just a prophet. The actual no shame in calling him. That's what Jesus is doing. But then he's not as important as what it is, and that's your lane. That's your lane. That's all it is. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you're following Judaism still, and it's like if you still don't believe that the Messiah of the world has come through yet, alright, cool. Don't use that as an excuse to not still follow the word of God. You're just waiting on your Messiah, and it's all good. But don't just use the excuse that, well, I just don't want to believe that it's Jesus. Not as important as what be a good person. But anyways, that's a whole larger conversation stuff. You should have already pulled out Afghanistan. It's like you still don't believe that. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. Like, you should have already pulled out. Who got us into Afghanistan? Excuse him. He was a senator at that time. His name is Joseph Good. But don't just use these. He's been in office for 47 years. The guy's been a senator for fucking, almost like 30 years of his life. But anyways, that's a whole. The guy's in his early 80s or some shit. Like 70 years, 40 years in office, like close to 50 years. I don't know what we're talking about. Like, you should have already pulled out 32 when he came out into a congressman or something. Yeah, dude. He was a senator. That guy lied us into Iraq and Afghanistan. Like, he was one of the 47 years. Sure, the guy's been a senator of Halliburton or the architects, but he was the senator who gave it the okay. Hold on. Before we get out of here, we do some shit. Play some 40 years ago. I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, dude. He was a senator. That guy
I'll vote for this because we should support compelling.
Where's the volume on this? Oh, it's playing.
Iraq to make good on its obligations. I'll vote for this because we should support compelling Iraq to make good on its obligations to the United Nations. I'm among those who had serious reservations about and flat out straight opposition to the first draft proposed by the White House on September 19th. The draft raised more questions than it answered. It was not. I'll vote for this because we should support compelling Iraq to make good on its obligations to the United Nations. I'm among those who had serious reservations about and flat out straight opposition. first draft proposed by the White House on September 19th. The draft raised more questions than it answered. It was not clear whether the authorization requested by the president to use force was limited to Iraq or applicable to the region as a whole. It was not clear whether the objective was to compel Iraq to destroy.
The government really doesn't want us to talk about this. So the context is, we're gonna play the whole thing because it's 5 minutes and who cares? YouTube's not trying to monetize us anyway. So the context is, this is 2002, and he's a senator at this time. He's giving a speech on the fucking Senate floor.
Let me see them real quick.
He's giving a speech on the Senate floor, bro. And so the idea is we've already been hit. And we're kind of, talking about going to Iraq and Afghanistan. And he's giving the prepared speech. Oh, for sure.
Alright.
So
I'll vote for this because we should be support.
Like, if this was actually real, he wouldn't be looking down on his speech. You know what I mean? Because I get it. I'm a senator, but I'm still nervous about public speaking. I get that, sure. So people have to write their little cliff notes because, public speaking is hard and whatnot. I get that. But we're talking about, you're this passionate about the concept that we're going to be, yes, taking out $5 trillion over the course of, but the idea would be that we're actually trying to overthrow a government. You actually need it. Like, why are you looking down so much? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be giving me, like, the whole point. Like, you're not going to really believe me or, like, really, take me serious if I'm doing this. Like, I'm talking to you. I got an idea. We can look over some ideas and whatnot. I can look over some notes. But, I want to convey an issue to you. You're actually gonna at least believe the
Ethnicity of it.
You're gonna trust the authenticity of my points,
Yeah.
be they wrong.
Yeah.
But at least because I'm talking to you, I'm looking you in the eye, I can actually,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, this guy means what he says. This is how they speak.
Yeah. Let me see
Just
how
prepare that way.
Compelling Iraq to make good on its obligations to the United Nations. I'm among those who had serious reservations about and flat out straight opposition to the first draft proposed by the White House on September 19th. The draft raised more questions than it answered. It was not clear whether the authorization requested by the president to use force was limited to Iraq or applicable to the region as a whole. It was not clear whether the objective was to compel Iraq to destroy its weapons of mass destruction programs, to liberate Kuwaiti prisoners, or to end Saddam Hussein's regime. It was not clear whether the rationale for action was to enforce the UN Security Council resolutions that Saddam has flouted for the last decade, or to implement a new doctrine of preemption. And it was not clear whether the administration considered working through the UN and working with allies important or irrelevant. Saddam is dangerous. The world would be a better place without him. But the reason he poses a growing danger to the United States and its allies is that he possesses chemical and biological weapons and is seeking, with his $2 billion a year illegally skimmed from the UN Fund for Food, is...
Okay, assuming that's true, given the context of the time, assuming that this is true, because he's not saying, I'm really sure he does. He does have weapons of mass destruction. All right, for sure. Why are you still looking down, though? You know he's got weapons of mass destruction, bro. All right. Why? We know he's got it for the you see, it's like you starting, drama with, someone like, yeah, and you were talking shit because, you know you're fucking up. You know you're lying. It's true, right? Why are you almost like, I get he's got a stutter. I get it. But at least you're authentic about your thing. Why does it almost sound like...
You sound acting out.
Why are you acting? Why are you acting, bro?
Oh, you have to do that too while you're trying to talk, bro.
You're like over the top with. Okay, I get it, dude. Like, fucking,
You're a person that I centered, right? You're
Oil for Food program, for peace program, that he is seeking nuclear weapons. And for years now, he has prevented the United Nations inspectors from uncovering those weapons and verifying Iraq's disarmament. And he is in violation of the terms he agreed to, allowing him to stay in power. The second draft, negotiated with
he just flipped a page of his script.
congressional leadership, and I would say, I believe in part as a consequence of the efforts of my good friend Senator Lugar and I, and roughly 23 or 24 Republicans, got the attention of the administration. They were simultaneously negotiating with the senator from Indiana and me, as well as the leader in the House. The leader in the House reached an agreement first. I thought that was unfortunate because I believe we could have had a better resolution had that not occurred. But nonetheless, the second draft negotiated addressed some of these questions but left others unanswered. Along with many of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, notably Senator Lugar, I continue to seek greater clarity about the focus of the proposed resolution. President Bush brought the resolution into sharper focus this week in his speech to the nation. He said that, quote, war is neither imminent nor inevitable. He also said that his objective was to
Sex is neither straight nor homosexual. It is a spectrum of. You're just doing that like doublespeak to be like legally okay with it. No, you're either doing this or you're doing that, bro. I mean, you know, it's no issue. It's just you're either doing this or you're doing that. I don't know. 1 + 1 is 2, bro. I don't think, you know, it's not offensive. It's just, you know, here you go. You're assuming that I'm offended that it's like, oh, it's either this or that. No, it's like, let me do your thing. I'm fair. Congratulations. But you're doing that. No. I mean, you know, it's war is either like unavoidable nor is it inevitable. So you guys just want to go to war? Well, you know, I mean, we just have no choice. Or you just want to go to war. That's all you want to do. You just want to pump money in, you know, for 20 years and, you know, have people die and get PTSD over just war. Like, you know, that's cool. Well, it's just, you know, you just don't understand, you know, it's inevitable and it's unavoidable. No, you can just say, excuse me. You don't have to go fight that person. You can just say, excuse me. Yeah, but then, you know, I have to go out of my way to be polite. Oh, wow. You know you can just have, peaceful, you know, conversations, agreements. I'm giving you the money. Here is, you know, the guns or you know, the drugs or whatever. Why are you getting greedy? I know you would be mad at me if I got greedy and then, you know, started shooting you. I know you'd be mad at me. So why don't you think that it's okay for me to be upset that after we've done this transaction, you pull out a gun and kill me and, you know, my crew and then, you know, well, you know, it's, you know, I'm going to take care of my family. Right, bro, everyone's got to take care of their family, bro. Like, how come you think you're different than me? You bleed like me. Why are you wasting your time, you know, fighting, you know, my armies when I would slaughter 10,000 of my slaves for victory? Yeah, and I would die for any one of my soldiers. What are you talking about? There is no such thing as a God king. Come build this pyramid with me then, God. Let's go. Oh, it's so important that we build. Cool, then come build it with me. No, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to tell you guys how to build it. Cool. While you're explaining it to me, you know you could just be making the cement, you know, with me and whatnot.
Bitch, but if a Samoan takes my seat on the airplane, it was never my seat in the first place, let's be honest. By default, every seat on that flight was his. Every person belongs to him. The whole fucking flight is his. The whole airline. Have you seen the fucking Samoan? They eat the whole goddamn row to themselves. Every limb on a Polynesian is one whole person. They need seats for every part of their body. The motherfuckers built like Exodia. Shit, I'm gonna be the asshole if I don't let him sit in his own seat.
They're built like Exodia, bro. Obliterate, bro.
To disarm Iraq. That his rationale to enforce the United Nations resolution was not based upon preemption, and that he desired to lead the world, and if war was necessary, it would be with allies at our side. The President, Mr. President, the resolution now before the Congress, similarly, is clear and more focused than previous drafts. It is not perfect, but it acknowledges the core concerns that Senator Lugar and I and others raised, and which have been raised by such senators as Hagel and Specter.
Yeah, but why are you talking like it's a speech? Why are you speaking as if it's a prepared thing? That guy right here, Senator Lugar, whoever the fuck that is, that guy is actually technically the fall guy. So if anything ever happens, you get to always say, well, I mean, you know, Senator Lugar and I. Fuck. You know we don't actually have. And by the way, you're paid by another guy. So Biden right now is a senator. He's bought off by Delaware, and you know.
I'll vote for this.
Technically, he's not in control of the choice. He's just the voice of the choice. The choice has already been made for us to go to war. The guy who is making the choice knows there's no weapons of mass destruction. He knows there's no weapons of mass destruction. And so he's just making you say the prepared speech that's going on TV.
Resolution into sharper focus this week in his speech to the nation. He said that, quote, war is neither imminent nor inevitable.
War is neither about to happen, nor is it, you know, unavoidable.
He also said that his objective was to disarm Iraq, that his rationale to enforce the United Nations resolution was not based upon preemption, and that he desired to lead the world, and if war was necessary, it would be with allies at our side. The President, Mr. President, the resolution now before the Congress, similarly, is clear and more focused than previous drafts. It is not perfect, but it acknowledges the core concerns that Senator Lugar and I and others raised, and which have been raised by such senators as Hagel and Specter and many others. Considered in the context of the President's speech this week and his address last month to the United Nations General Assembly, this resolution, though still imperfect, deserves our support, and let me explain why. First,
okay, so C-SPAN is obviously being viewed by people. It's obviously a thing at this time. Whether or not your household is watching it, that doesn't mean that it's not being on TV. So someone's watching this on TV, assuming they're not also part of the plan, but they're watching this. I mean, a person really can't be watching a person. I can't see you giving me a speech and think you're being authentic with me, though. That can't be, that can't be real. You can't be a serious person watching this and seeing this guy give a speech, never looking up more than like 3 times for less than a second all of those times. You can't take this guy seriously. You can't take, this is, do we actually, then you gotta be questioning, like, do we actually know that there's weapons? Because this guy's like, guy's barely like looking up at all. Let me explain to you why. Nobody's talking to you, bro. You're talking as if there's someone talking to you. Meta.
First, the objective is more clearly and carefully stated. The objective is to compel Iraq to destroy its illegal weapons of mass destruction and its programs to develop and produce missiles and more of those weapons. President Bush did not lash out precipitously at Iraq after 9/11. He did not snub the U.S. out precipitously and produce mass destruction and its programs to develop and produce missiles and The objective is to compel Iraq to destroy its illegal weapons of mass destruction and its programs to develop and produce missiles and more of those weapons. President Bush did not last.
Okay, so after the CIA gives this guy money and funds this guy, and then he stops playing ball with us, then he's a monster, he needs to go. Okay, fine. Not only do you have to destroy these weapons, then you have to kill off any and all programs to make bombs. So you're trying to Gaddafi this guy before you do Gaddafi. So because this guy said no, damn, that was the whole thing with Fidel Castro. You need to get rid of all of those missiles and weapons that have been delivered by Russia, but you also have to cut ties with, come on. Somebody out there, you explain to me how Fidel Castro wasn't a CIA operative. This guy was a fucking CIA operative, dude. And then he stopped playing ball with the US, so then they turned him into a dictator, Yeah, no wonder the people thought that, and they knew that he would. Yeah. I knew this guy in college, then he did a year away or something, and then fucking, he's not the same guy that, it's the same idea, but it's not the same guy that I knew. Yeah, no wonder the people thought that he's a piece of shit. Yeah, I get it. I'm not hating on my family. I'm just saying you're mad at the wrong reason. He's a CIA puppet. He was always part of the plan in that sense. He just grew balls, whatever, but he said no to the CIA. The concept of communism is not a problem. We have the level playing field. You have your own. Everyone's got the same basketball court in the sense that no basketball court is not going to be. No basketball court won't be regulation size. So now everyone gets to practice on the same basketball court. So now this is where your skill is actually going to come through. Everyone's a doctor, so how good of the doctor are you? Because everyone's a doctor, everyone's educated, everyone's literate in Cuba. So how good are you at fixing cars? Everyone's a mechanic. How good are you because it's still you. So we're all fighting, raise your shield. Your shield is protecting this guy. You're good at fighting. You're just protecting the guy next to you, so on and so forth. Hence the failings of the Spartans. You individually might just get a higher kill count than that guy. Because that's the chaos of life. Everyone starts out with the same opportunity, but you might have a different life, you might have a different life. The outcome will, by definition, never be equal, but the opportunity was there. So the foundation is going to be equal, and then it's up to you to make $1 billion, $1 million, only $100. That's up to you. It's illegal, bro. If you're on an airplane and what's it called? Let's say someone's having a heart attack and you're a doctor. You can go into federal prison for not helping that person.
I can go to prison for not helping an old person.
You're a doctor and you're on an airplane and someone's having a heart attack and you say, oh, is there a doctor on the plane? And you don't respond, you can act, and they find out you're a doctor, you can go to prison for that.
No. Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. You're one of the superheroes. You're a person that's you're accountable for your skills you have.
So how come there's universal health care when we're 30,000 feet in the air but not when you're down the street? How come it's not? How come there's a medical bill?
Yeah.
On the ground. That's what I'm saying. You're a doctor, dude. So the person can pay you or not. Are you suddenly not good at being a neurosurgeon? Like, bro, you're a neurosurgeon. Go fix that person. You're a doctor. But here's how you fix it. Fucking tuition. It's not that tuition should be free. It's the reason why he's charging you so much money is because his tuition was $400,000. And so you create the vicious cycle of you got to keep on paying so many people. You put it into a pool. You work 40 hours, that person works 40 hours, and whatever. All of our tax money is going into a pool that college tuition could, essentially be free. Or at most you're paying like, you walk out of it with a bill of like $400, for like 4 years or like 6 years of, of studying and whatnot. At most or something. That's how that shit would work. So then he wouldn't have to pay, or he wouldn't have to charge you so much money for the x-ray, and then you wouldn't be going bankrupt because you can't pay for an x-ray. That's how that would work. You would actually be saving a lot more money in that system of healthcare than if you were, paying into the system that we have now. Because we spend twice as much as all the other countries, and we have, worse outcomes. Sure, on the other side of that, you have great outcomes in medicine. But because of those two extremes, the outcomes that are, so much worse than if we had a modernized universal healthcare system. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation, but we're getting into war.
Out precipitously at Iraq after 9/11. He did not snub the UN or our allies. He did not dismiss new inspection regimes. He did not ignore Congress. At each pivotal moment, he has chosen a course of moderation and deliberation, and I believe he will continue to do so. At least that is my fervent hope. I wish he would turn down the rhetorical excess in some cases, because I think it undercuts the decision he ends up making. But in each case, in my view, he has made the right, rational, and calm, deliberate decision. Wrote recently in the New York Times the following: Iraq and al-Qaeda are not obvious allies. In fact, they are natural enemies. To contemporary jihadist, Saddam Hussein is another in the line of dangerous secularist, an enemy of the faith. Saddam Hussein has a long record that al-Qaeda and like-minded Islamicists represent that, Saddam Hussein has a long record.
My bad. I fucked up on the wording. My bad. I went off on the wrong thing. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. But it's not your actual thoughts though. This is a speech that was written to you, therefore you're just reading off the prompt.
Has long recognized that al-Qaeda and like-minded Islamicists represent a threat to his regime.
Of course they cut it off there. Wow, dude.
I don't know how else to say it. The vaccine works. Take the vaccine, please. On August 28th, Florida conservative talk radio show host Mark Bernier, an outspoken opponent of vaccines to combat COVID-19, died of COVID-19. That same day, Caleb Wallace, a prominent opponent of masks as a means to slow the spread of COVID-19, died of COVID-19.
Right, and this is all CNN. I guarantee you that if this guy was out in the real world, he would think that you're gross for standing next to him. You ever heard of people saying they gotta own the libs? They gotta piss off liberals and weirdos and shit. COVID was just a way of like owning the conservatives. The entire, Russiagate was supposed to be owning the conservatives, but it wasn't working. Like the things that they were trying to do to get Trump in trouble or whatever, like it wasn't working. And so this was their last ditch effort in the last year of his presidency, because they really needed to make sure that it was, a 4-year thing. They couldn't have democracy happen, hey, if your guy is so much better than it should have been shown through the polls. Instead, no, we gotta weirdly fudge up these numbers and whatnot. But you're so sure your guy's gonna win. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna win, but also we gotta do this. Why? This is democracy. Your guy's better. Clearly, it'll show through the votes of the people. Oh, wait a minute. Turns out, no. Donald Trump might have actually won, which shows that you need to stop voting for either of these parties. You gotta stop doing that. But the Democrats are so sure that they're much better than prove it. Stop being the same person. This shit is crazy. You see the trailer for the new, what's it called? The Midnight Suns? Check this out, bro.
You think about calling for a ride? Nah. What's the worst that could happen? You lose your license? You total your car? You kill someone?
How long was I in that crypt?
I know where the sun rises.
No more than a few centuries.
Centuries? And what of Lilith?
Fallen by your hand.
And I know where the sun sets.
Until now. You were missed.
Whatever caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you.
I know where the sun rises.
We got a lot of work to do.
I know where the sun sets.
Of course. Caretaker has reformed the Midnight Suns.
I know where
About time.
You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Let's go, bub.
DLC for the Avengers game.
Nah, it's another game. It's like a strategy game.
Been looking for you.
Did you play the Black Panther one?
No.
You see the trailer for that?
No.
Alright, so if if Midnight Suns is an actual game, then I'm down. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I just want to see some gameplay.
It doesn't matter. Trailer, I'll see the trailer, bro. Oh yeah, the gameplay, yeah. Whatever.
The new Google Pixel 5a with 5G with extreme battery saver lets you go all day. Plus another day. See you later, charger. Get more battery out of your battery on Pixel 5a 5G from $449.
Oh, you know.
All right, guys. So welcome back to another episode of Marvel's Avengers. I'm almost certain that nobody probably expected. How do I get up there? Could it be through? Whoa. Could it be through here? Ah, of course. Of course the game would make me go all the way around. There's a special chest, resources to location. Here it is. Man, it feels a little off, like playing for the first time in almost over a year. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it just feels a little off. Part of me feels like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Alright, press A. Oh my god, are you kidding me? We can do that too. Was that even a thing before? I think it was. We've done that before. You see, it's been a long time, man. I'm adjusting all over again. We've got some new gear. Just gonna check out this other side. Look at this right here.
I'm assuming
so freaking nice. Welcome to Wakanda, guys.
The cool thing about Spider-Man was that I was thinking like, yeah, that'd be really cool that they put that in there for sure. They knew. That's how it felt, because I'm like, yeah, this is Spider-Man. I should be on the wall. I should like be able to jump off and then web the guy and then be able to like almost like throw him off on like a, yep, cool, for sure. You thought of it.
This would make such a dope game.
I'm impressed that I can do it. I'm assuming I can do this.
Does Princess Shuri know about his past?
She does. All potential Black Panthers do. I have not seen this cave since I was training with my uncle. Like stepping into a memory. I remember breaking this looking for a way in. Explosives were not a good idea.
We have unlimited throwing darts or knives. Oh, this is so cool, dude. I feel like I'm playing like a Marvel Uncharted game or something. Oh, hold on, there's something this way. Okay.
Alright, at least there's no
what just
like,
happened?
3-hour load screen.
Did I just spawn in? There we go. I'm gonna take these. I'm gonna get what I can. As much as possible. You guys know me, I like to loot a little bit. So far, really, really intrigued. Really interested. Ooh. Nanotube. I remember those things. Okay, so in order to swing, just gotta hold.
Past reaping the souls of Wakanda's invaders. She protects us always.
Alright. Look for a chest with gear nearby. Pass is chosen. Okay, hold on. Let's break all this stuff here. We're probably gonna have to place 2 individual things on those stones down there in order to move forward. Okay, so that's where I gotta go. Hold up. The chest right here. What is this? Breakable walls. Hold for power attack. Hold light for power. Light power attack. Certain heroes can break through walls using power attacks. Unbreakable walls are highlighted with an orange glow. Breakable walls. I'm sorry. I'm using tactical awareness. How do we do that again? There's tactical awareness. Alright, nice. So we've got... I wonder what this is down here.
Another puzzle for future Black Panthers. The hours I spent in this room. The bruises.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm capable of solving this, Mr. Black Panther.
Yes, that one I remember. Wrong. Uncle Sayan was always changing this puzzle.
Bro, are you kidding me? I'm gonna die here.
Good. Moving on. Perfect. If my uncle could see me now.
Okay, so we did that. I'm gonna get some of the health here. I have no idea where we go next from here.
It's just pretty dope. I mean, it's cool. It reminds me of like Square Enix is the one that
Bro.
created the game.
Those things are not easy to get rid of.
Indeed.
Hold on, bro. We gotta go this way. I'm sorry. There's a lot more enemies than I anticipated. Oh.
There's a lot to manage in life right now. Chase Secure Banking is right there with you to help, with the convenience to manage your money from the Chase mobile app. Plus, it helps.
Yeah, Eric said, what's up?
Gotta hop on the live stream, bro.
Stationary guns have ceased.
Franco?
The generator is losing power.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna see this.
A kaiju has appeared.
Okay. What's your text me your email? No, you text me your email so I can send it to you because it's a website. Yeah. Yeah, check out this stream right now. Alright, peace, bro.
Third squad, begin your assault.
You're random people on the street, bro. Yeah, my brother's calling me. Yeah, what's up, man? What do you got to?
Stationary guns have ceased operating.
Oh, really? It's on Steam stream? Yeah, man, I'm down. Yeah, I'll download in a second. What are you doing?
Fourth squad, begin your assault. All generators in the area are destroyed.
You already tried both methods. You tried the
Stationary guns have
virtual
ceased
desktop
operating.
and the airlink. So your controller is not connected to the bus at all.
Begin your assault.
We got another one.
I'm thinking that mine works. I want to see if my Star Wars works through Airlink with the remote control connection. I'll try it in the living room. See if it works. The Square Enix one?
Engage.
Yeah, Square Enix.
There's a new one also called the Midnight Suns.
Did you go to the Steam?
Yeah.
Type in Bomberman. Do you see it anywhere? Is that super bad? Yeah, is that free?
$9.99.
Is that a free one?
Let's see.
What's the name of that shit? It's called Super Bomberman or Bomberman?
Super Bomberman R online.
That one for the premium bag, the same for the basic one. Yeah,
There
it's
you
free
go.
play.
There you go.
Download it. Download programs. Yeah, just. Actually, let me see. Go to the choose location. Nah, that's fine. Just keep it as C then. Better next. Don't do any of that stuff. Next or agree.
Hey, right here, they reserve the right to circumcise you. On the 5th day that the game doesn't work, do you accept the terms of agreement?
I suppose so.
Alright, then you said yes. Please don't show me again.
Alright, I'm downloading the Bomberman.
Alright, I'm just trying to.
I want to try out my Star Wars so I see if that works.
Try to see if they can figure this out.
Don't piss me off. Biggity son of a bitch.
My bad. You're on the live stream, bro.
Just random.
Shit is crucial. Low key, since you're on the live stream now, you gotta answer the question: is the Earth flat or not?
Oh, there goes the controller. See if it is. I don't know. Some stuff. If I go in here, see if I try it again. I'm just gonna try it with the regular, just regular one. See if it gets
French, the English, the Belgians, or any number of Christian or Islamic invaders were never able to defeat them in battle. Well, it's unprecedented. The Wakandans have a war.
We have already taken out the garbage.
I wanted to question them.
We have the answers we need.
I guess that means I have questions for you.
Goodbye, Captain America.
We need to talk. Maybe you just lop off the head of every newcomer who hits town.
If we did that, you wouldn't have yours.
But those Nazis were here for a reason.
Yes, to steal our vibranium. The mineral that can only be found here, in Wakanda. Hitler needs it for the next generation of their missile systems. As do you.
These are dangerous times. You need to choose a side.
We have our own. We take our borders very seriously, and you have crossed ours.
Go to Oculus, down there to the bottom. You can close Valorant, that shit's all open. Close that game. And then go to, you see the Oculus symbol? Yeah. Go to settings, to the left, down, beta, top right. Go to Airlink on.
And the VR status.
Let me see if I can connect to it right here. Oh shit.
By the time I figure this thing out, the batteries will be dead inside.
Yeah, my battery needs to be charged as well too.
Maybe we can play some long match.
Yeah, it's all downloaded.
I gotta open the Steam fucking app.
So there's all the case names. Everything's kind of funky. Hold on, I was trying to figure out. Hey Alex,
Yeah.
let me know what are you gonna try it out?
Yeah, I'm trying it right now. It's stupid. Hey, Daddy, you see where it says VR mode?
Yeah.
Click that. No, click on the thing for, no, not there. The circle. You see the circle? It says launch into VR mode? Yeah. I don't know, what did Aaron say?
Hold on. Yeah. You said G? Which one?
What's up, bro?
What's good?
Not much, man. Felt bad.
You guys good?
Huh?
You guys good?
I'm actually just pissed off. Feelings. Yeah. See, bro. Yeah, cause she wanted to know how long I was gonna be doing the podcast for, or whatever, and I told her it was like 30 minutes to an hour. So you know when I was basically saying I was gonna wrap it up. Yeah, I was thinking about her. It's just I didn't bother the hands and text her in time, so she took it personal. Said I never, I don't put her on a priority list. So that's basically what it is, bro. But that's not the case. Yeah. Huh?
You definitely made time for your girlfriend, bro. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean. But yeah, I don't know.
My bad, dude.
What's up?
No, I felt that was like, oh shit, fucking, what's it called? Like they're dealing with something right now, like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. She's not happy right now. That's why she took off.
I can dip out, bro.
It's up to you, bro. I don't know. It's all up to you. If you want to leave, you're free to chill, you're free to leave, whatever you feel is best for you.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, so is the bigger picture.